And we're live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, Jordan Nielsen here, host of Real Estate Pros on Lister Pros TV. Today we're here with Arnaud, or Heather Arnaud. See, I got it all mixed up. Heather Arnaud, Realty Executives, Tonke Verde office. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day and joining me on Real Estate Pros.
Absolutely. I've been trying to get here for a little while, so I'm glad that I'm here. Thanks for having me. So you want me to tell a little bit about myself?
So to get started, we'll give you an opportunity to introduce yourself.
Okay. Heather Arnaud with Realty Executives, Tucson Elite. Tonke Verde branch. I've been an agent for just shy of 6 years. Absolutely found my passion in real estate. I love doing what I do.
Awesome. So you've been in real estate for 6 years, so it's been a pretty good market since...
Amazing.
Since you got in the
ground running. Yeah, I started off as a part-time agent, and then I sold 25 houses in my first year and realized I could do it full-time.
Yeah, man, in part-time, 25 deals, jeez. Yeah. That's pretty impressive, because people that get into it full-time a lot of times can't even achieve that.
Yeah, so. I don't sleep much, I
guess.
Yeah,
so you're full-time now?
Yes.
So talk about the dynamics of your team. Are you a solo agent that continues, or how have you evolved your business over time?
I'm a solo agent, but I have an assistant who I probably couldn't do this job without. So she's been amazing for me, Sid Mostyn. And we work really well together. We just do what needs to be done as it needs to be done.
Awesome. So we know as a real estate agent, you can focus on many aspects of real estate, right? There's commercial, there's residential, you can do open houses, you can do other things. What are those things that you do that drive your business?
Really, it's whatever needs to be done. And I think every property has a different dynamic of how to get it sold, or every buyer, everything changes. So that's what I like about this business too. It's different every day, and I do just what needs to be done. You're talking about different markets. I only do residential sales. So I don't do commercial, very little with land. It's something that I like to refer out because it's just not my specialty, and I don't want to do anything that I'm not going to be the best I can be for my clients.
Sure. So what part of Tucson do you cover?
Anywhere that there's people. So honestly, it's, some days, I actually didn't get a listing once because the client thought I lived too far from it. It was out in Oro Valley. And that's what I like about my job. Some days my ride to work is 5 minutes, and some days it's an hour. So I really like the versatility and variety of where I get to go. Anywhere from, I've sold houses from Red Rock to Sahuarita to Vail, and everywhere in between.
Awesome. So we know within the real estate, or here in the local market in Tucson, there's a lot of options when it comes to brokerage. What made you decide to go with Realty Executives?
Realty Executives gave me an opportunity to work on a team, and as a part-time agent. And really, I went and interviewed with 6 different brokerages, and no one else would give me that chance. So I got to start on a team and worked with somebody who helped me tremendously through that entire learning of it, and I'm forever grateful for that. So that's why I took Realty Executives, and I'm so grateful. Never found a reason to go anywhere else, and I love it there.
So is that something that you recommend for all new agents that get into the business, or what? So if somebody starting in real estate today, right? Today's their first day. They just got their license. What do you recommend they do to be able to find success?
Really, find a great mentor.
Yeah.
I would say find somebody who is going to really hold your hand through it, take the crazy phone calls, and be that person for you.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about Tucson and the market currently. What's the current state of Tucson real estate?
Well, it kind of depends. I mean, it depends what you're looking for. I think that there's a certain price point where things are hardly staying on the market at all. Anything under probably $225, it seems like it's gone in a day. Getting higher than that, things can stay on the market a little bit longer. I'm always amazed, people always think, oh, it's summer, nobody's going to buy houses in the summer. I had probably my best month last month. So Tucson never really seems to completely slow down. So it's just, I'd say our market is hot for the most part.
So let's talk about, maybe suggestions or what's the secret to finding homes for buyers in a competitive market like this? So if you have somebody that's in the $200,000 range, you're probably competing with other people. What are those things that you do as a real estate agent to give your buyers the upper hand to be able to get the properties that they want?
Well, I absolutely keep an eye open we have some really great things out in the real estate industry where people are posting things before they're listed. So that's really helpful to be able to see things before they've hit the market and bring those to my clients before. Another thing I do for other agents, I guess, and for my sellers is put coming soon signs up about a week before they're listed, so that it gives an opportunity for it to sell before it's ever even hit the market.
So have you seen that help
absolutely. I've had some other consumers in the market that have been upset. Wait, they said coming soon. What do you mean? It never even went on the market. So I think that the public needs to know when they see those coming soon signs to call that phone number on that sign so that they can be the first in line or get an early showing.
So that's a great strategy for sellers to be able to get, eyes even before it goes on the market. Maybe they're getting ready and moving out, but you have that sign up that kind of drives interest.
Absolutely.
What are those other things from a seller's perspective that help get homes sold quickly?
Honestly, it's the sellers listening to their agent and not necessarily sites that they might see that, oh, well, this site said my house would list for this. But those sites aren't actually in the market. They aren't seeing the inside. They aren't walking door to door and seeing what's really available. So it's really trusting the professional that's in your house. Because when you list a house for too high, and I'll always list a house where my client wants me to, but with them knowing that, if this doesn't get an offer in a couple of weeks, we're going to need to lower the price to where I see the market. Because if it sits on the market longer than 30 days, people start thinking, is there something wrong with this house or why is it? So it's just really important to listen to your real estate professional about what they say.
Right, and I think that's a very important part. Pricing is probably the most important variable when it comes to listing properties, because there's a lot. If it doesn't sell for a while, you're making mortgage payments, so you would have been better off listing it at a lower price, selling faster, less showings, less prep, and it's a lot more work.
It is. Even
if you're off by a little bit because you're stubborn that this site says that it was listed.
Well, and when a house is priced right, it tends to sell pretty quickly. And sometimes I've heard sellers say, we must have priced it too low. No, we priced it just right. So it's important to really listen to, I study the market. I really look into pricing a home right. So if it's not at that point, I can't necessarily do the best job for it at a higher price.
So what's the trick to getting top dollar for your sellers if there's multiple offers on that particular home?
For the seller?
For the seller, right? So you got a bunch of different offers. What are some strategies? Do you just look at them all and take the best one, or do you go back and maybe
that's going to be very selective. I work for my clients, so I would sit down with them and give them a few different options that they can look at the different offers that they've received and choose one. You can go back and ask for everybody's highest and best multiple offer situation. Really putting it back into the hands of the seller, but just reviewing their options with them.
Awesome. So if somebody watching this is interested in having you represent them as a buyer or seller, actually, first off, before we get into that, we know that there's so many options when it comes to real estate agents here in Tucson. There's thousands of real estate agents. Why do people ultimately choose to work with Heather?
Well, I think it's a combination of experience and personality, stick-to-itiveness. I work my tail off for my clients, and I really have a passion for what I do. So, and I think that if given the opportunity, I think I kind of come out ahead.
Yeah, and I think, with the results that you found in year one as a part, I'm like, that's very impressive, the 25. So obviously, I'm assuming not all your business comes from cold leads or cold calling. Probably a lot of referrals, right? To be able to achieve that.
A lot of referral marketing, and I stay in touch. I mean, I fall in love with my clients. I keep relationships going well beyond the closing of escrow. So I stay in touch with my clients, and we've built that relationship, and I've seen them come back time and time again.
So what things do you focus on to stay? Because I think that's something that a lot of real estate agents struggle with, staying in touch with past transactions, past clients, right? There are
Right.
people. What do you do to help kind of manage that? Because after a while, you got hundreds of different people that, you know, they're all
busy.
relationships.
Yeah.
And you get busy as a real estate agent. How do you manage that?
Well, I live with a calendar and I try to set things up. So I try to make an appointment with my clients a couple times a year, or just a pop by at their house where I stop by and try to leave them with something and saying hello and seeing what they're up to. I love stopping by and seeing and going in and seeing what they've done with the place. Sometimes it's unrecognizable from the day they bought it. So just really keeping in touch with them that way. I become friends with them on Facebook. I just treat them like a friend, and then that just keeps coming back.
And then what things on, so touching on social media, what things are you posting out there that, you know, drive engagement? Because we know that, you know, if you're constantly just talking about listings and stuff, you may not engage, you know, because not everybody's always buying and selling a house. What are some of those things that you, are
Again,
you big
I like
on
to
live,
focus.
or what do you do?
Well, I've done some videos, you know, when I have an open house and walking people through, and I'm always amazed that people watch that. So I will do some of that. And then I love getting pictures of my clients when they've closed. So holding a sold sign at the title office or in front of their new house. Really, it's about my clients.
That's a lot of fun too. It's always fun to give keys to somebody's, you know, brand new house or first time home buyers. Super
it seems like lately I've had quite a few first time home buyers, and it's so exciting. And last night I delivered keys to a client, and we were standing in the kitchen and everything was done. I brought him a gift and showed him through his home warranty, making sure everything was in order. And we were just standing there. He said, so this is it? This is it? I'm done? This is it? It's your home. And so this morning I had a picture of them like holding their sign that I left them, and just adorable. Yeah, it's
awesome.
Really fun.
So if somebody watching this is interested in have you represent them as a buyer or seller agent, how do people get a hold of you?
They can call me, 520-975-4459, or Heather Arnaud at mac.com is my email address. I work on Tanque Verde, so 6444 East Tanque Verde Road. I think that's plenty of information, and I am happy to interview anyone for buying or selling, and we're not always a perfect match. You know, I know that I'm not for everybody, but I love to be given the opportunity to see how I can best serve your real estate needs.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Heather, for taking time out of your day, joining me on Real Estate Pros. And we will see you guys on the next episode.
Thank you.